Hi, it's time to talk about organization major web service testing, which is SOAP. Now it's time to have a look at SOAP UI application itself. We can create empty SOAP, REST or import projects, same as file create empty, SOAP, REST or import projects. Also, you can check the preferences and set your own preferences for anything from HTTP to WSDL or so on. Same as here, you can check preferences from here. Also, there is an endpoint here where you can check API requests. Right now, I'll create our first SOAP project. I'll click SOAP and I need two things: a project name and WSDL XML file itself. WSDL file, and here we have options. First of all, create requests, create sample requests for all operations. I want yes, and create test suite for the imported WSDL. I say yes, and I click OK. Now generate test suite. We have two styles: one test case for each operation, which is major right now, and if you need to select or unselect operations. I'm just showing you unselect and select all. And also another one, generate load test, generates a default load test for each created test case. Check it, just to learn. Now you need to name calculator major test suite. And second one, I'll change the style from one test case for each operation to single test case with one request for each operation. Gonna be like that, okay? Do not check load test now. Click OK. And I'll call it minor test suite. Good. All of them are created, as you can see. First one, second one. First of all, you need to double click on project name. I'll pull up properties. These are project property. Project properties with against custom properties. Double click on it, where you can check all the project necessary information with project summary and test summary right here. Then you can double click on WSDL contents to check the WSDL definition here and operations right here. Add, divide, multiply, subtract. What type of operations you have. Also, do not forget to check the properties. A good tester also always starts with WSDL contents right here. Check the WSDL itself. Simply go through, walk through or overview it. Check services, bindings, port types, messages, schemas, elements. For example, for elements you got add request and add response, multiply request and multiply response. Now, next step, if you require, right click at the service and click generate documentation. Choose folder, anything. Click OK. Here it is. Web service calculator. Everything you need to know about this web service. Protocol SOAP, transport protocol SOAP over HTTP with operations. Add, divide, multiply, subtract. This document contains full information about your SOAP service in detail with source code, WSDL source code itself, and all the corresponding information you need to know. Now let's go to test cases. Double click it. You can run it now. However, I won't do it from here. Let's run each test case individually. Click on request. Let's add very simple 50 and 50 and run it. Execute it. It's 100. At this point, check the request log, but here you can add already assertions. Assertions are check of verification validation points. Click add. Let's go through assertions. Let's start from bottom, from security for sensitive information, JMS timeout, let's say, service level agreement, script, compliance with standards, HTTP status code, SOAP response, requests, property content, and recently used. Recently, let's use very simple one, contains. It contains 100. I'm expecting response 100. Click OK. As you can see, assertion. Clean it, XML file is clean. Right now contains. Yep. Assertion is valid. Double click it. Let's say I expect 1000. As you can see, it failed again. However, I'm gonna re-execute it. Failed. Because it's 100. Okay. Assertion. Request logs were already executed 3 times. Go to subtract, logically speaking. Okay, subtract. Subtract what? Let's say subtract from 1000, subtract 300, right? At this point, I can already start adding assertions. Contains. I assume it might be 700. Another one, I'd like to validate HTTP status code. Let's say it's gonna be 200, which is okay. Execute it. XML good, assertions both okay. However, I think that it might be 201, which is added. It's already failed. Re-execute. So it should be whatever we expect. Good, assertions we executed twice in log. Go to multiply. Don't forget to check your properties here. Multiply what by what? 100 by 10. Should be 1000, right? Assertions. Add your assertion contain 1, 1, 2, 3. Status code should be 200. And I'd like to add another one, SOAP response. SOAP response in valid format. Let's go, execute it. As you can see, all fine. Assertion 3, valid. Good. Let's do final one, divide. Divide what by what? Let's say I want to divide 5000 by 5. So right now, insert your check verification, validation, assertion point. Contains would be 1000, right? 5000 by 5000, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Should be status code. We expect 200, which is pass. Then SOAP response. And then very interesting one, schema compliance. Validate the last received message is compliant with the associated WSDL or WADL schema definition. Against what? Against calculator WSDL. Click OK. And now you execute it. As you can see, all 4 assertions are OK. Request log 1. Execute 3 times, request log 4, assertions of all 4 passed. Why I'm showing you all this? If you are a tester and you're testing company's major web service, which is SOAP, you're supposed to know each operation in detail. You're responsible for it. So right now, let's go quickly through load tests. It's not mandatory. Usually it's not required. However, you need to know basic about it. Threads, strategy, simple, variance, thread burst. Let's say for 20 seconds I want. And simply execute it. Run this load test. Statistics running, progress bar, and soon it should be over. Still waiting. %, done. Let's go to subtract. Load test for subtract. I'll go with variance. Don't want to do it long. Execute. Moving pretty fast, but it's simple operation request. As you can see here, load test log. Done. Multiply. Load test. I'll check thread. Start. You need to watch statistics if you are doing load test and load test log here. Finished. Started. Finished. Load test started. Load test finished. Finally divide the last operational service. I don't want to do it. Okay. Burst. 20 seconds. Execute it. As you can see, there is a difference in execution. Started. Expired. If you need to stop running it. Started. Cancelled. This is it. That's all you need to know right now. Let's create another SOAP UI project. New SOAP UI project. This time it's gonna be different. I'll call it world country info data. Paste it. However, this time we do not create automatically test suite with WSDL. Okay, we don't need it, simply speaking. As you can see, many more requests right now. I'm gonna use this one. Do not forget to double click on project to check the statistics. Do not forget to double click on service. Check the WSDL to check the operations. WSDL content, WSDL itself, service binding, port types, messages, schemas, elements, and others. Do not forget, if necessary, generate the documentation. Click OK. Here it is. All the operations types. As you can see, it's bigger in size than previous one. Each operation with source code. The WSDL source code itself, if you need one. And finally, the corresponding information right here. Okay, now, at this point, we need to create a test case. Right-click on a service and say Generate Test Suite. You create one test case for each operation and select all. Do not do any loads. Very simple one. Click OK. Let's call it World Country Test Suite. Good. At this point, do not forget to check the properties if you need it. Okay, at this point, you can already start executing it. I'll call it, close it, call it again. Here it is. You can execute the whole, we can execute this requests, web service requests individually, like we've seen in this one, or by test suite itself. We can run it in sequence or in parallel. Right now I click on in sequence and I'll scroll down during the test to see how it's running in sequence. Click run. I scroll down to execute it, so you'll see the sequence. Kill it. Double click again, expand, click in parallel. I'll scroll down approximately here, so you can see how it's running in parallel, and execute the whole test suite. As you can see, all of the requests were finished in parallel. Now, like I said, as a tester, you have to be aware that you are responsible if you are testing SOAP WSDL service, so you have to be aware about each operation. There are some lists, for example, like language ISO code, where you have question mark, this is you need to stick a parameter inside, supply a parameter. There are some lists, for example, currencies by code, currency by name, continents, for example. List of continents. I'll clean it. As you can see, nothing is here, but however, it's simple list because no parameters supplied. Click execute and you got it. Same like some others. Currencies by code, list of currency by code. This is a really long one. As you can see, it's simple list, no parameters. Execute it. Currencies by code. Good. There are different test cases where you have to supply parameters here, like capital city, for example. For example, code. For Canada, capital city is Ottawa. For India, let's say, capital city is New Delhi. For example, you can add an assertion. Contains New Delhi. Clean it. Assertion passed, request log, assertion passed. However, let's say USA, assertion failed because it's Washington. You need to change the assertion. Washington. Now assertion passed. Okay. Countries using currency. Let's double click it. I saw currency code. Let's say made wrong. USD. And here it is, which states. Or for example, CAD. Execute. Which currencies are using this one? Which countries are using this currency? Let's do something else. For example, phone code. Let's say India. Here's the phone code. Let's say USA. Here's the phone code. And let's take some name. currency name, let's say. Currency not found. Currency code not found. And for this, currency ISO code, International Standard Organization, I need to check this one. List of currencies codes. So the one I was looking for is this one, CNY yuan. XML supplies a parameter. Do not forget that all SOAP requests, they come in envelopes. SOAP requests in envelopes. In envelopes there is a header, there is a body. Inside the body, operations request name. And execute it. Let's see. Expected result. I wanna copy it. Create one more assertion. Execute it. Assertion passed, log 5. Very good. And that's quite enough. Let's create REST project now. Click Add REST, and you need to stick or insert REST requested URI, Unified Resource Locator, or import WADL. I'd like to explain something. For SOAP, it's WSDL, Wide Service Definition Language, and for REST, it's WADL, Wide Area Definition Language. Click REST, paste it, and simply click OK. At this point, you can already execute it. I'd like to rename it. Good. Simply execute it. It's get method only. No parameters. Get API method, expressing properly. Working, waiting, as you can see here. And that's it. Here it is. The list of countries with information. Okay. So far, we created 3 projects. General calculator, world country info data, and REST countries. As you can see, it was pretty easy to do, and it's a good news that using SOAP UI is pretty easy task. Now, a reality point of view check. In real companies, while you are working, unless you are working in dedicated web services specialized team, this type of projects, SOAP projects and REST projects, they are not everyday projects, they are pretty rare. Because all these well-established companies already developed and already possess or have their own web services, general web services. So it might come to you in 2 types. As a change request to enhance existing WSDL file with additional operations or remove some operations or exchange some operations, or as trouble tickets for escape defects in the production environment. However, like I said, they are not very often projects. Okay, and Another thing I'd like to add at this point, make sure that you are staying on objective. Make sure that your management is asking you to do exactly what is in project requirement. Do not do gold plating or upload unnecessary extra features like some scripts with Groovy, which is Java style scripting language, or anything else. Indeed, with all these meetings, with project timeline, with some other interactions, you might have not enough time to do it. So make sure that the only question a management is asking you, are you 100% sure that it goes into production, whatever you tested goes into production, this enhancement and trouble ticket, they're defect free. So you need to provide 100% confidence index at this point. So please make sure that you are testing whatever is mandatory and not whatever is optional. If you have extra time, if you have lots of time, you might work on some scripting on everything else, but make sure that you are testing whatever is indeed required by project's original requirements. Thank you. See you in the next lectures.